how do you go about the thought process, like the strategy for design? Like, how do you go about that? Like, how do you design the way of strategies that you are supposed to apply for a project? That is my question. I don't know if I'm able to convey it or not.
Okay.
Does that?
So basically we try and we say that let's apply, a vision in process, and we try and put that vision in our projects in various levels. So uh, when we look at a problem or a project, we look at not, and especially being architects, we all know that whatever we create stands longer and larger than our own lives. So it's actually a crazy responsibility. And especially if you put that out sometimes in public domain, it actually becomes even harder. So one has to make sure that the strategy through which you build a program or a project, or the afterlife of what you've done, how it's going to be operated, maintained, embraced or not, or rejected by people, is really critical. So I think once you kind of start looking at that larger life cycle, it becomes a part of your system. So to me now, we all think through projects, not from a perspective of the 2 years or 1 year design journey, but really on its 10, 20, 50 years of its existence.
I have seen lots of projects in India, like urban design, like you have done in Agra and Lucknow and many of that urban design. But if you are choosing Lithuania, ऐसे आपने दिखाया था कि अभी लॉकडाउन में आपने डिज़ाइन किया without going any kind of atmosphere, how do you design urban design in that kind of city and in urban context?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. Extremely tricky, very unfair to the world and to all of us. But the modern technologies did allow for a very close interface with practically everybody in the clientele, municipality, or the local people, as well as the videos, the drone images, etc. Was a very, very handful. But I totally agree that we were all believe that okay, you're doing a concept design, but you're not going far ahead without smelling and touching the space. And I completely
Urban
believe
texture is
that's
most important for
that's
that.
absolutely right. Super good question. Thank you so much for that.
I was very excited to see the kind of projects that you've taken. As designers and architects, we work for clients for their satisfaction. And when you go into public domain, there's not one client. The whole public is your client. So how do you break away from the fear of not getting your project accepted, or maybe, the fear of maybe it won't get liked by the majority of people? Doesn't it restrict you from doing the best you can?
Right. Very nice question. Very real question, actually. So on a reality check, we try to be very, very responsible as people, as custodians of culture, of city, and so on and so forth. So it does happen that you actually exercise an extra degree of restraint in your work because you can't afford to go wrong. Even if you don't go too right, you can't definitely set the boundaries of wrong because, especially in public domain, that's really true. But on a lighter side, I think there will always be unrest. Whatever you do, whatever you put out in public, whether it's the Bombay Metro or it's what we are doing at Lingraj, I am dead sure there'll be 1,000 questions. So you've got to give it your best and also look at the position you have, and hopefully it really pushes you to work harder on every project. So your responsibility goes, I think, because of public work, because of the responsibility and the pressures, we've just opened a design school, and I think the reality of that design school is because we feel that responsible. We feel that pressure, and one wants to do something about it rather than just crib. So that's where it stands.